So, hello everybody. So we have the open session called the Show and Tell session. We have 8 presentations that have been posted at the Padlet. You can read text about the projects. You can see the videos in some cases. You can also vote for the best text video a story, and the score is from 0 or from 1 to 10. So please do it if you have a moment. Now we would like to have like short 3-minute presentations from the people who posted their stories in the show and tell session. And please write your questions to particular presenters in the chat. And after the discussion, after the presentation part, we can discuss and ask the presenters to respond to your questions. I hope this is pretty clear. And I can see 74 people. So should we start? Let's start. I made a list, and on my list, number 1 person to start would be Jose Tejera. Could you please present your presentation? 3 minutes.
Let me just... Is everybody seeing the presentation?
That's okay. Perfect. Yes.
So this history is about the use of public art to raise awareness about the ocean plastic pollution, and it is integrated in our Ocean Action campaign that started in 2015. It is not running. Okay, and of course we had many conventional tools as talks, more than 50 talks, hands-on activities, lab activities to see microplastics, beach cleanings, about 40 beach cleanings already, and 30,000 garbage items collected. But from the beginning, we wanted to include art and multimedia as tools for communicating the problems. We invited students to make their own art with recycling plastics. We produced some physical and digital games, many multimedia tools like videos. But we invested a lot on exhibitions, and we have now 3 traveling exhibitions about the topic with different variations, but investing on infographics and sculpture, multimedia, and some installations also, theater, and on public art. And this first exhibition was made with the Artistic School of Porto. We made 3 big sculptures that were displayed in public spaces of the main cities around Porto, in the main plazas, gardens, and we noticed that this kind of tool was quite useful to get the attention of normal citizens that don't look specifically to find information about these topics. And these are some of the images of this first exhibition that we did with this very good landscape or for this scenery for the commemorations of 2016 European Cup of Portugal. It was here in the middle of the plaza. We then included this use of the students to put a message in the bottle of this sculpture, and now this year we made a collaboration with a sculpture to use plastics from the sea to create real sea monsters, and we have displaying this exhibition on Porto University Rectorate public space with different aspects of this art, with the monsters, some human figures, with many different.
Jose, I'm sorry, I have to interrupt. It's fantastic. I can see it, but we need to keep the fair rules for everyone. And I'm sorry. Thank you very much.
You can see a video about it on the show and tell.
Exactly. Thank you very much. It's only 3 minutes. I'm sorry, guys, but I will have to be sort of tough with that. The next person on my list is Izabela Kotyńska-Zielińska. Izabela, are you ready with your 3 minutes?
Yes, I'm ready. Can you see me? Okay.
Yes, we can see you.
Yep. Okay. Hello, everybody. I'm Isabella from Today We Have. I'm coordinator I Live by the Sea project. And dear friends of the ocean, I would like to show you amazing photos of the winners of this year's photo and film I Live by the Sea contest. The idea behind this project involves a worldwide contest for young persons up to the age of 21. We accept from participants to use any type of visual arts to present a story of their sea. Therefore, we have two categories, photo and film. Participants may submit photos or short films along with a short text with the scripts, the story. Our first edition was closed with an exhibition alongside many others during the UN Ocean Conference in New York in 2017, which was a great experience for us. Following, we had fantastic exhibition in Brussels, Southampton, Rostock 2018, Lisbon 2019, and Poland 2020. As a result, our exhibition gained the rank of one of the major side events for this year's UN Ocean Conference, which was supposed to be held in June in Lisbon. Feel free to contact me if you want to get involved in the contest and all I Live by the Sea project, and enjoy the movie. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Isabella. That was even less than 3 minutes, I suppose. Okay, yes. The next person on my list would be Mercedes. Could I ask Mercedes for the 3-minute presentation?
Yes, of course. Shall I share my screen or will it be faster?
If you have something to share, yes, you're more than welcome.
Okay, I will share my screen then.
Perfect.
Quickly, just tell me if everything goes nicely. Okay, thank you. So
there's one slide.
Thank you very much for having me. This is a very brief introduction to Instagram and to Instagram ability to reach the communication of marine science. So I would like to introduce you through 6 questions to this amazing world that is in our mobile phones. So Instagram offers us the stories that are a brand new format that lately has been introduced also to Facebook. And stories have a very specific format, but mainly stories are stories. So any one of you, being a researcher or being a communication officer, has something to share with the community. For instance, usually you will have your daily work happening at the sea, underwater, rearing amazing creatures in a tank or in a lab. And those are amazing opportunities to create visual content, either photos, either videos that you can share around. So this is what a story is. And other ideas for you to create these stories. Everyday scientists have opportunities to learn and to teach, and those are good bases for your stories. You have fieldwork that will give you those amazing opportunities to capture images. You can mention and be mentioned with your community. You can share your discoveries and fails that are amazing opportunity for others to learn from your work. 3 questions. Are stories difficult to make? Well, not really. You have to get used to the routine of creating stories, but it's quickly a fast process. They have some challenges. Stories only have a 24 hours life. You cannot share links. You can only do it if you have an amazing community following you. But you can curb these challenges. For instance, you can archive your stories using the highlights option that will be just behind your bio in Instagram. And you can also use stickers to kind of share your most formal posts on Instagrams through the stories. What is the aspect of a story? Where in Instagram, everything is vertical. So you will have vertical photos and videos, very short videos, just up to 15 seconds. And you can have the stickers, and it's an amazing feature. It's similar to GIFs. In fact, you can also add GIFs from Giphy, and they give these very dynamic and very visual and informal stories aspects. So the plan, there are many ways to plan and to have a good strategy in Instagram, but I will just to give you 2 hints. First, all your stories are shown in a loop for 24 hours. So you can plan them as sequences. You can have one introductory story, then you can have the main activities in separate stories, and a final conclusion one. As a main tip, also try to have a common aspect, a kind of homogeneous image, and also plan your images, with good quality, your text, and a call to action, something you can guide your community to do. And just finally, if you can, and you should make a good use of hashtags. In Instagram, you have no limits. It's unlike Twitter. And if you have
I'm very sorry. I'm very sorry. I'm starting to develop some sort of like a rudeness disorder, but I have to keep the time for everybody. It's over 3 minutes now, so can you please wrap up?
Oh, yes, of course. Yes, my final phrase was that this gives you access to a young and global audience. The audience in Instagram is between 18 and 34 years old, so do not miss this opportunity. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Perfect. Thank you. Please remember to write. I can see already 17 comments or questions in the chat, so perfect. The next person on my list is Greta Guyani. Can we have Greta with her?
Can you hear me?
Yes, we can hear you.
I will have a presentation, so I can.
Please stick to 3 minutes so that I don't have to be rude again.
No, I'll try my best. Can you?
Thank you.
Just a sec. Can you see it?
Not yet. Yes.
Okay. So today I will tell you the story of Gambierdiscus, which is a genus of microalgae which is able to produce toxic compounds. So we consider it as particularly dangerous. It was considered monospecific for many years, but now up to date, up to 18 species are recognized. And it is able to produce toxic compound that can accumulate through fish flesh and then reach human beings and be toxic and be neurotoxic. And there is it's a disease that has no cure, which is, so this teeny tiny organism is very, very, very dangerous. It was endemic of the tropical areas, but nowadays, because of marine transport and because of global warming, it spread more or less all over the world, reaching lots of subtropical and more temperate areas, making ciguatera a worldwide problem. Our work consists on prevention, since there are no cure for this disease. So we detect DNA in the water samples with the use of a strip test that work more or less like a pregnancy test. And we then detect also the toxic product of those organisms in fish flesh and in the macroalgae using a sandwich. It's called a sandwich, more or less, configuration in which we trap basically the toxin between two antibodies. We do communicate our work a lot through posters, scientific publication, and PowerPoint. But we do think that is not enough to reach people, because we do discover that there is a lack of awareness on the problem, especially into the medical community. So there are lots of misreport and on the ciguatera. So we are thinking to work with more designers in order to create infographics and spread them on to people and into medical centers in order to reach as many people as possible. And of course, as you can see, I'm not a graphic designer, so we want really to have those people to work with us. And this is all. Thank you for your attention. I try to be as fast as possible, and I will answer to your questions here or through my email address, and I will take the time to answer to any one of you. Thank you so much.
Perfect. Thank you very much, Greta. I didn't have to step in. Perfect. Thank you very much. So please pose questions, comments. We'll be very happy to discuss them once we complete this session of presentations. The next person on my list would be Caroline Schüle. I'm sorry if I misspell your names. Could we have Caroline?
Yes, hello, can you hear me?
Yes.
Perfect. So, hello everybody. In our contribution, me, Caroline Scheuerle, and the co-authors Hervé Kloster, Sana Ishiba, Emily King, Laura Lorenzoni, and Hedwig Enns would like to present you the Frontiers for Young Minds, the Ocean Collection. Frontiers for Young Minds is an online journal written by scientists and reviewed by a board of kids and teens aged from 8 to 15. During the review process, experienced scientists taking the role of science mentors accompany the kids and teens. While this approach is shared by the other Frontiers for Young Minds collections, ours particularly focuses on ocean issues. From now on and during the whole ocean decade, it seeks to contribute to foster an ocean literate generation. As you can see on the poster on the left-hand side, several articles covering two types that are core concepts and new findings, and a large variety of ocean topics are already online. And if you want, you can access the articles directly if you click on the small cartoons. Since we submitted the contribution, another article has been published and several more manuscripts are in the pipe and will be reviewed and published soon. Moreover, and what concerns our perspectives on the longer run, I would like to point out that we work on possibilities to translate selected articles into the UN languages, as well as accompany them with additional educational resources, such as hands-on experiences. The feedback we have so far from all involved people, scientists, pupils, mentors, readers, are very positive. And in presenting here today, we would like to show you one example of science communication and outreach that is in place, works well, is engaging for all participating parties, and welcome additional contributions. So please join the ocean literacy movement and do not hesitate to contact us for further information. You will find the contact details on the poster, and I thank you for the attention.
Thank you very much, and thank you for sticking to time. We have another person, that would be Lawrence Hislop on my list. Could we have Lawrence?
Sure. Let me just share my screen.
Super.
Can you see?
Yes.
Okay. And Timon, don't worry about rudely interrupting me. Please let me know when I have 10 seconds left. People interrupt me all the time. I'm totally used to it. So
that's a bad start.
Great. Lawrence Hislop, Communications Director at RevOcean. And we are a Norwegian organization, not a government institution, not an NGO, not a private company, but philanthropic organization supported by Norwegian resources. And we're in the midst of constructing a new research vessel. and it's in Norway at the moment. And our mission statement is to go from curiosity to understanding to solutions. So we're going to be exploring widely around the planet, doing a variety of ocean research focused on climate change, plastic pollution, and unsustainable fishing, ultimately with the goal of finding solutions to these various problems. So here are some renderings of the vessel. It's halfway through its completion.
Sorry, Lawrence, you are not sharing your screen. We are just seeing your PDF.
The first slide only.
Only the first slide?
Right.
Oh, crap. Why is it not moving? Can you see it now?
Now, yes.
Okay, sorry about that. Sorry.
That's all right.
So here are the renderings of the vessel, and it's going to be a state-of-the-art research vessel with some of the latest scientific equipment aboard, but we also see ourselves as a communication platform. And so what I'm going to be showcasing is some of the communication equipment on the vessel. Earlier this year, we opened up for a call for proposals to 75 of our partners. And the proposals that we got in, we ended up patching together into what is going to be our first year cruise plan going pole to pole. Now, because of COVID impacts, a lot of the situation has changed, both in terms of the construction of our vessel and the plans of our partners. So we're going to have to rejig this, but we will go pole to pole within our first year of operations. It may not be this exact route, however. Now, the vessel itself, because of its size, we're going to be able to operate globally and be autonomous for up to over 3 months throughout the year. And we've installed as much safety and scientific equipment as we can to enable global operations. Sustainability in terms of the build of the boat itself has been a high consideration, and many aspects too many to get into now, but being a very quiet boat to have as minimum impact on acoustics underwater was a big consideration, and trying to generate power internally on the boat to be able to heat and cool the boat as we are in operations was important. And so there's an incinerator on board as well. We're going to have one of the deepest diving acrylic domed submarines in the world. They can go down to 2,300 meters. It has a scientific rig on it, but we're also putting on broadcast cameras so we can do documentary filmmaking. We also have an ROV, which has already been completed, which can go down to 6,000 meters and has scientific skid on it as well, including broadcast cameras that can do filming, again, down to 6,000 meters. We'll have an ROV control room on the boat, so we'll be able to live stream from the various submersibles. And I don't know if you can see, but here at the back of the room, there's a media center so that people can be editing videos and streaming it out as we're going along. And so there may even be a separate media room that we're going to build in order to accommodate filmmakers, artists, musicians, different kinds of folks who can be able to take data from the boat and video and be able to edit it and feed it out to the world. We have a large auditorium that can fit up to 35 people, which has a large screen and Dolby surround system on it.
I'm sorry, Lawrence, yeah. I have to step in.
Yeah, no, I'm finished. A classroom, science labs, helicopter, trial arrangement, and I'm done.
First of all, I have to step in because I'm gonna faint. This is something incredible that you're showing. What is that?
Thank you. It's it's a dream opportunity for those who are interested in scientific work in the oceans, those interested in communications work. It sort of blends together all these different kinds of incredible opportunities. We'll have artists on board, musicians, filmmakers, all kinds of folks doing science communications. So
envy is not the right word here.
Feel free to reach out to anytime, anybody who's online, either in chats or afterward. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much. Incredible. Okay, can we have Kevin Balaam?
Oh, yes, I'm here. Hello, everyone.
Hello.
So you hear me well? Yeah?
Yes.
Okay. So it's not a boat, it's a smaller work, but I'm talking about a smartphone application. So my name is Kevin Balaam. Thanks for having me. I'm an engineer at the Laboratory for Ocean Physics at Ifremer in Brest. And in the show and tell section, you will find a video we've made presenting a smartphone app that we developed in the context of the Argo program. So a quick word about Argo for those who doesn't know what it is. Argo is an international program. It's called a GOOSE, Global Ocean Observing System, that uses profiling floats to monitor the ocean properties. There's about 4,000 floats alive right now around the globe, and about 16,000 since the beginning of the program in the early in 2000s. And in projects involving Argo, we have more and more outreach approaches. So we're trying to bring people, and especially younger people, into oceanography via the Argo floats. And when we discuss with this young audience, we often need some prop tools and support to draw the attention. So some videos, serious games. And today we're developing a smartphone application that allows the user to explore the network of profiling floats. So to see where the floats are, to see how many of them there are. And they can also easily see the data, so temperature and salinity of the ocean from the floats, data from yesterday, literally, but also data from 20 years ago. So the objective is to use this app mostly in classroom. We actually plan to start doing that in late 2020, but with the situation this year, this was difficult. So we hope to be able to start test the app in classrooms and science events in 2021. And to see how such a tool can ease the discussion about oceanography and operational oceanography for us, but mainly how we measure the ocean. And hopefully next year, I'll be able to present some use case in the CommOCEAN 2021 maybe. So if you're interested, you can check out the video. I won't play it now, but you can check out the video in the Show and Tell exhibition. And you can also check the app that's available on the Google Store. And you can ask any question on the Padlet or in the chat. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Kevin. So you have even a little bit more time because the next CommOCEAN is 2022.
Okay, so
it's a biannual.
Yeah, we'll have some more use case.
Perfect. Thank you very much. Yes, please remember that everyone can go to the Padlet and comment there, ask questions. I can see that it's going on, but just please remember that that's an option as well. And we should have another presentation from the team of the Youth for the Ocean, but no one manifested at the very beginning that their presence.
Yeah.
Oh, Natalie. Okay, super. So it's your 3 minutes, please.
Thank you. I'm quickly going to share the screen. Okay, so we are representing the Youth for Ocean Forum, and it's Olivia and myself here today. We are in total 40 young students and 40 young people who have been working on a charter. So we have just started the Youth for Ocean Forum this year online, and this is a bit of a summary. We have tried to create our values, which are all around the ocean, concrete actions and impacts. We want to work environmentally conscious. We want to work for education and awareness, equality, transparency, and the empowerment and respect. And even though we're just online at the moment, we are starting off and want to actually create some targets and goals that we then basically, realize in the future in concrete actions all over the planet, not just in Europe. Even though we are just a little part of the EU for Ocean Coalition, our goals are to have a common vision, to raise awareness for ocean literacy, to influence and inspire youth and decision-making at the same time, and to give the youth a voice. And I guess in our little video that we've made for this pitch today, and I will share the link in a second, we just introduce ourselves and we introduce the young youth ocean advocate, where we open a call for young people who are thinking about applying of representing the ocean in their area and who want to pitch their work for the ocean to become the next ocean advocate. I will also share a link, and if there are any more questions, Olivia and I are happy to answer them today or anytime in the future, either through the website, the email address, or just giving us a shout over the #YouthForOcean forum. Thanks a lot.
Thank you very much. Okay, perfect. So we're done with the presentation, 3-minute presentation part, and we can switch into the question answering session. Going through the chat, we have a festival of enthusiastic comments to Jose, and then I got into the first comment and question, and the question is to Mercedes. The Insta stories are an excellent opportunity for science dissemination, and the question is, according to your experience, are scientists willing to participate on Instagram? How would you encourage them to join this network? Can we have a short answer, please?
Yes, hi, of course. Usually younger researchers are more keen, as I assume it's logical. And hopefully the main barrier, I think, it's making them trying to do a story, feeling comfortable with the new social media and repeating. The reach and the interaction in Instagram, it's amazing. And the possibilities for us working with the ocean and in coastal areas, I mean, they are huge. Thanks.
Okay. Please do not mute yourself, because the next question is also to you. How do you measure impact of Instagram stories?
Oh, yeah, I was quickly advising this participant to keep, well, first you have to decide your goals. What are your goals in Instagram? Depending on that, you have to choose some indicators, maybe reach, maybe interaction, maybe some target countries are your goals. So make a good selection, don't overwhelm yourself. And then please keep track with Excel, a good Excel to keep track all the months, maybe monthly, maybe weekly. And there are some cool tools out there. I advise him to use or to test Metricool. That it's very good one, but there are other choices. Thanks.
Okay, thank you very much. Next, scrolling down, we have a number of enthusiastic comments to Greta. Congratulations, Greta. And then we have a comment. According to my experience, younger scientists are more keen on learning the ropes of a new social network. Hopefully, we can encourage them with quick presentations as this one. Would someone like to comment on that? Young scientists versus mature ones and the new social media? Or that an open question to everyone?
Yeah, I think it was also the response from Mercedes to the first question, because also people have been replying to their questions.
Okay. Could you take over on this one, please?
No, it's just to say that of course this is a chat, so people also reply to each other. So
yes, of
I will suggest you to fish out the questions.
All right. Okay. Okay.
Instead of the comments.
Okay. Thank you. Then we go down. Okay. What are your philanthropic budgets? Who are your funders? That's to Lawrence.
Yeah, so we are funded by a wealthy Norwegian businessman who made his fortune in the oceans, in the fishing industry and offshore shipping and oil and gas. And he's seen detriment happen in the ocean over the years, and now he wants to give back. So he's signed Bill Gates' giving pledge. So he's going to donate half of his fortune, billions of dollars, back into ocean research. So he's offering this boat, once it's completed, for free to researchers and to communication experts who submit proposals to us. We have a science and innovation committee who reviews them. And once those proposals are accepted, then you can get free access to the boat. So the operational costs are supported by our donor as well. And you can find out more about him specifically on our website. But that's it in a nutshell.
Well, the question from me, how to join you?
Yeah, follow our social media and our news, and you'll be seeing open calls for proposals. We finished one up this year already for our first year cruise, but we have an agreement with the Norwegian Research Council, who's going to run our second open call for proposals starting in 2021 at some point. So probably midway through 21, we'll have another round of calls for being able to join cruises in 2023.
Pretty impressive. Okay, we have a question to everybody. Do you have ideas and tips to be able to reach and sensitize people who are not from the scientific field and people who are living remotely away from the media and online networks? Would somebody like to respond to that? That's a pretty special case, away from the media and online networks. If no one wants to challenge this one, I may suggest that probably that would have to be a personal contact with these people, with some sort of like an educational activities to be proposed on their ground. That would be my suggestion. But would somebody like to comment on that?
Timon, can I add? It's Alistair from the Marine Conservation Society in the UK. I work occasionally with people that don't really want or have a desire or indeed a kind of technical ability to want to do any of this stuff. But locally, they're often very important people. They might be someone that's known a beach and cleaned a beach or studied around an area, I don't know, sort of intertidal area. So I think, as you said, one, you've got to go and engage them face to face, or a good old fashioned thing like a phone call. But don't necessarily think that they don't engage with the community that is around them. They just choose not to. I mean, I'm a bit of a Luddite myself. They choose not to take it to a wider audience via the kind of technologies we've talked about today, but they can often be very positive in quite a specific way, very locally. It's just, you know, definitely don't overlook any of those kind of people. They may just be very, very grumpy, misanthropic people, but you'll find that out face to face. That's just from experience.
Okay, thank you very much.
Yes,
of course.
Can I also add something? It is a bit linked with my presentation and the use, for instance, of art and visual arts that are very useful tools for people that is not from the scientific field, that are not quite open to some of these hot topics. And we had this experience that this art attracts people, and so if we had some short messages with the art, we have a good tool to reach a wider audience. And so my experience is that a combination of different tools, but with a strong investment on visual arts, are quite useful for this kind of public.
Okay, thank you very much. Anyone else would like to chip in with some ideas here? Okay, we have I think a very important issue raised by Kyle to everyone. Do you have to change your approach for people who don't live near coasts, for instance, in big central cities? Would somebody like to comment on that?
Yeah, I may.
Perfect.
I think together with different other youth initiatives over time, we have tried to tackle this question. Not that we've really done too much. I think it's also in the face of COVID, it's not really easy, but ocean literacy, I think, is a really big word. And if we want to realize that, we need to target people that live farther away from the coast, because everything that we do upstream will end up downstream, and many people might not be aware of that yet. So I think, a big task of all us, our ocean communicators, will be to spread the word about the ocean and about the consequences that everyone causes with their action, even upstream. So it's a really good thing to keep in mind for all of us, I think.
Can I just add something? Sorry, it's me again, and I'll try and shut up for the next 2 days. Absolutely echo Natalie's words there about those urban centres, of course, being quite viscerally and literally connected via rivers. Look at the Thames or whatever in England. But also, I think we find in the UK, working last 7 years with MCS, with the education department, we can sometimes go to coastal communities where young people from just 1 or 2 kilometres, 2, 3, 4 kilometres inland of a beach, you will hear from their teachers that drag them to the beach in a coach. They've never been to the coast before. So often, sorry to bring this up, but often this can be a socio-economic thing. But you might have a kid in, sorry to use sort of English versions or British versions in I don't know, London or Birmingham, who actually gets out to the beach quite often due to parents being involved with surfing or sailing or whatever. But you can go to places very, very close to the coast, often, sadly, poor communities, badly funded, and those children are still not seeing the opportunity to get there. So we've always got to go and target urban centres, but suburban and indeed, you know, sort of out in the countryside, there are people there that aren't going to the coast. Like, people live near the mountains and they don't go up them. We don't forget that, and it's very sad to see, but we do see it often in the work that we do here at MCS. So it isn't only an urban inland thing. It can just be about saying to people, look, it is there, you can access it, and we can help you.
We have pretty much the same experience here in Sopot when we have groups from outside of the town, basically the same stories. And if I may quickly tell us about our approach when we talk to people from Warsaw, which is some sort of like 250 miles south of the beach. We just use the SDGs as an example of if they don't cooperate with us, because the big river that goes through Warsaw ends up in the Baltic. So on the daily basis, their activities are very important for the Baltic. And then the second level is when they come for vacation. You know, they can for the week or 2 weeks, they can really leave a footprint in the area. So this is the kind of a discussion that we generate with these people. And then, you know, if the sea level rises too high, then we will have to move south, and you know, all the SDGs pretty much fall apart, because, you know, who will care about quality of education, for example, if we have to look for jobs, places to live, and so forth. So not scaring the people, but just discussing the interconnections, right? So that's how we tackle this problem. Okay, Angel, did I miss any important questions on the way? Could you please help me with that?
Yeah, I think there are also many comments and also people are responding, but also I would like to point out people to the actual online exhibition. So maybe I will just share the screen so everybody can see it, because of course this session will end up in a couple of minutes, but here in the online exhibition, you also can comment on different entries that we have seen the presenters. So also you can continue the discussions there. This was just also to have some sort of a networking opportunity. But yeah, I will encourage you to go to this link, because it will be open for the next couple of days. And as well, you can rate as well. And hopefully we will get a really good ratings. So yeah, hopefully people will also vote and also comment on it. So it's also a place to ask those questions.
Mm-hmm. Thank you very much. Right. So do you have any comments, general comments to everyone or to specific people? Any of us? We still have, let's say, 5 minutes before we close the session, so that we have 5 minutes before the breakout sessions.
Can I? Sorry, I did say I'd be quiet. Can I ask Lawrence, how did you go about finding these philanthropic backers? It's very much a US thing, the philanthropic side of things. I know people that work in universities often have these philanthropic backers. It's less of a UK thing. I would like it to be more. How did you go about finding the person and the business that are funding Rev? And are there any top tips or any ideas you may give us all?
Yeah, thanks. So we're Norwegian based, which is even more unusual when it comes to philanthropy. And it's more that he found us versus we found him. This was his dream, maybe 5 or 6 years ago, to take his wealth and turn it into a cause that was going to be able to support environmental sustainability and specifically the oceans. So he put together the organization with his own resources and hired a CEO who was formerly the head of WWF Norway to put the team together, who is going to really form his vision into a reality. And so it wasn't that we had to go out and find a donor, it was that he was already there and needed to put an organization around him to turn the vision into a reality.
Lucky, aren't you?
We're very lucky, extremely.
Right.
But we need everybody to contribute. You know, this is an organization that enables others to be a part of this whole vision. So all of you, you know, I hope we can reach out and be a part of this whole mission together.
Sure. Okay. Any other comments or questions that you'd like to raise? Yes, Angel?
Maybe I will ask a question to all the speakers now, and it's also addressing, let's say, the elephant in the room, because it's COVID-19, and of course the reason why we are having this event online. But my question is, we have seen that everybody has gone online. I think it's a natural transition because you were forced to, and also, you know, people doing videos, webinars, online conferences, online events. So especially with people with with children and also going online, there is an online fatigue. So every day there is something going on online. So you in the end, as you were going to physical events, you just decide to say, okay, this one I attend or not. So I think it could be frustrating for people. You know, you dedicate a lot of time to transition to online. So do you think that COVID has also reduced the impact of our activities? I don't know if somebody would like to give it a go, or maybe you haven't thought about this.
Are we limiting the question to the presenters?
Or if somebody would like to, as well, to step up and say that this is nonsense, this is the greatest thing that happened to us, or the worst thing that happened to us. But yeah, it's also, as you know, Mercedes was presenting on the Instagram, like we have short spams. So, you know, you have to engage the person for 5 seconds, and if they're not interested, they will move on to the following thing. So I'm just, these kind of things like, do you think there will be an impact in the end of all these online activities?
If I may comment on that for
Yes.
solutions, directly short term, there was a huge impact on the spring, for instance, in social media. I monitor Instagram, but also Twitter and other social media accounts. And the average time that people were spending on social media, was amazing. Never seen something like that before. And as you were commenting, there is this forced digital literacy that we are all achieving. Even if we are older or younger, that old age gap, I think it's becoming leveraged for everyone. So yes, there is a fatigue, but this is being an amazing digital opportunity. I cannot wait for the moment where it become normalized and we will be able to combine the face-to-face with the online and not being forced to be online all the time. That's my opinion. Thanks.
If I may comment very briefly on that. On the other hand, of course, I'm not a fan of the situation, but that provided us with an opportunity to go much wider. And many of the activities that we used to have locally, now we can go global. So there are bright sides of that, even though I don't want to maintain it for long in 2021, right? Would somebody else like to comment?
Well, I think that the big challenge is how to engage with people without the physical presence and the possibility of doing hands-on activities to share things with the children, and this is quite a challenge. I agree that we had good developments on the digital tools and reaching a wider public. But for instance, even this sculpture exhibition, we changed some of the ideas and tried to put it as open areas as possible, because indoor activities are now completely without audience. So this is something that we cannot live with for many years. We need this engagement, this personal engagement. We rely on that. We hope we can go through it soon.
Yeah, right. Okay, I suppose we should be closing this session because we're starting in 5 minutes another sessions. So thank you very much. Thanks to the presenters. Thank you for the participation in the session. Please remember that the exhibition or the information Padlet is still open. You may comment, you can talk to people there and also vote. So thank you very much and enjoy the rest of the day and hope to see you all tomorrow. Okay, thank you very much. Bye-bye.